here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome into Game Night right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. We enjoyed it so much on Wednesday. Let's do it all over again. Kings and Warriors. It's the preseason. But I tell you what, on Wednesday, at least that first half on Wednesday night did not feel anything remotely close to a preseason game. Both teams got after it pretty good. Both teams played their starters for the most part. It was a lot of fun. We'll see how it goes tonight down in the Bay as they switch sides down the I-80 corridor. Kings traveling down to Chase Center tonight for Game 2 of the 5-game preseason slate. Scott Marsh, normally with the high flyer, Henry Turner. He's down in San Francisco. We weren't able to get the technical stuff set up for him to be a part of Game Night, but he will be on the Kings pregame show with Jason Ross. That comes up at 6:30 tonight. The tip is at 7 o'clock. You'll hear him there. But joining me, of course, is a man, if you're watching YouTube, you see he's in his San Diego garb. I'm from LA. I'm a lifetime Dodger fan, so I don't know how I got stuck with him for the next hour. But I will put up with you, Kyle Ledbetter, for the next 60 minutes. We'll talk Kings. We'll talk some Warriors. We'll talk NBA. And I'll try not to look at the ugly brown and yellow jersey you have on.
Hello, Scott. I love the introduction. I am, San Diego born and raised. Me and Scott have a little bit of a rivalry going on right now between the playoff baseball, but I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back with you for my third season now, and I'm excited for some Kings basketball.
I am. Normally the preseason, you say ho-hum, not real exciting, but I mean, anytime the Kings are playing the Warriors, it is exciting. I don't care if it's postseason, regular season, preseason, rec gym, wherever it's at. Anytime you can watch Steph Curry play and get a chance to see Kings Warriors lock up, it's good stuff. And now this is an official rivalry. Okay, you might be able to say 2 years ago when the Warriors got over Sacramento in Game 7, maybe not still officially a rivalry, even though it had all the elements, but the Kings had never beaten the Warriors in a big-time moment. That changed last year in the play-in game when the Kings got over Golden State and knocking them out, not only knocking them out of a potential playoff run, but that was the very last dance. The very last time Klay Thompson suited up in a Warriors uniform was right here at Golden One-Star. So we've got a rivalry going on now. And you could tell a little bit on Wednesday night. Both teams came out. I mean, they're not concerned whether they win or lose. I get that. But they still got after it. Both teams played their starters. And obviously, for the Warriors, they shot the three-point ball as good as maybe they ever have in their team's history. It would have been a career, or it would have been a franchise record for threes, as they made 28 on Wednesday night. Their regular season record is 27. And obviously Mike Brown was not happy about the Kings defense afterwards.
No, and it's understandable, Scott. We brought it up on the broadcast that if this had been a regular season game, the 28 three-pointers made by the Golden State Warriors would have been a franchise record. Think about that. All the years of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, the Splash Brothers, the Kevin Durant seasons, they never made more than 28 three-pointers.
And the NBA record's 29. So, I mean, just putting it in even more perspective, right?
Yeah, and obviously they took a lot of three-pointers as well. 53% from the three-point range is still an absolutely incredible percentage. I don't care if you're playing regular season basketball, preseason basketball. If you can shoot 53% from the three-point line as a team, you are playing well. Out of your mind, I would even say. And I understand why Mike Brown was frustrated coming out of the game, given how they played on defense.
Yeah, and he was frustrated. And, it's kind of started during camp. He shut down camp on a Saturday practice when a couple turnovers by Mason Jones didn't feel like Fox and Sabonis showing the right leadership and trying to set the tone that, hey, you get a little sloppy, even if it's for one play or two plays, that could cost you a playoff series when you're looking at April or May, or a run at a playoff or anything like that. So, I mean, he's trying to set that tone. Obviously, Mike Brown, we know he's all about defense. He felt the physicality was lacking. Obviously, there was no coverage of the three-point line. And these are some of the themes that we saw last year with this Kings team. And if they carry over, I mean, this is a Kings team, again, with just 46 wins, didn't get into the playoffs. They were close, but not good enough. And these are the things they've got to learn how to clean up.
Especially because coming into this season, we still have the same core of De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis and Keegan Murray and Malik Monk. Those guys have played together, but the rest of this group is all going to be learning how to play together. These are going to be new rotations, new lineups, some rookies and second-year players who are going to get legitimate rotation minutes to replace outgoing players like a Davion Mitchell, like a Sasha Vezenkov, like a Chris Duarte, who obviously was his first year last year, but he's been in the league for 4 seasons now. So this is an interesting time right now where the Kings have 4 preseason games left to play. They have to figure out, what is our big priority going into these games? Are we working on who's going to take up those last roster spots? Are we working on team defense? Are we figuring out rotations? How do we do that when key pieces like Trey Lyles and Jordan McLaughlin aren't playing? So it's interesting to see. I'm curious how they're going to allocate these 48 minutes that they have tonight playing against the Warriors, given that they just saw this team on Wednesday. They're playing the same team. How do they play them going into how do they set up rotations? Who gets how many minutes? And what do they focus on with these 48 minutes that they have?
Yeah, no doubt. And Steve Kerr said it's all about finding combinations in the preseason. So it'll be interesting to see what the Warriors do too. Again, we're up in live on our Sacktown Sports YouTube. So check us out there. Nice smile, Kyle. And if you want to call us, you can, 916-339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We'd love to hear from you as well. Again, it's game night. We're with you until 6:30, talking about pieces. Obviously, the big offseason piece for the Kings, DeMar DeRozan. He looked in midseason form. He had the mid-range going. He was 6 of 6 from the field, hit a three-pointer, hit tough shots, looked like he had been in a Kings uniform his entire career.
It was fantastic to see him just come right out and start hitting shots. I looked this up during the broadcast. He went perfect from the field in the first half last year 2 times the entire season. Comes out, first game as a King. I know it's preseason, obviously, but first game, hits his first 6 shots, walks off the floor and says, any questions you have about my age, about my fit, about dribble handoffs, all of it, put it to rest, because DeMar DeRozan played as well as you can expect for him in a preseason game. And he's in year 14 or 15 now in the league. He's been here before. He's been through these preseason games. Asking him to give 100% effort or asking him to play significant minutes is something that some teams wouldn't do, or at least expect that of him. He's the veteran. He's coming in. He's been through this before. And for him to come out 6 for 6, incredible game. I'm just glad that there's no anxiety or people coming on the airwaves and talking about, is this fit going to work out anymore? I feel like DeMar DeRozan has his game. We know what he's capable of, and I'm glad that Kings fans got to see it in front of the home crowd during the preseason game.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of adjustments to make, but DeMar certainly looked in midseason form. A lot of people were asking about Malik Monk. He left the game in the second quarter, and he left for personal reasons. He's back with the team for tonight, should play. We hope everything's okay with him, but that was the reason. It was not injury related at all, but a lot of people were texting me, hey, what's going on with Malik? We don't see him on the bench. So that was the issue with Malik. He's okay. Some of the other things that stood out for me for the game on Wednesday night, just, again, I'm trying to get a feel for some of the new pieces, combinations, all those types of things, who could make the roster, all those things are interesting. To me, Isaac Jones is somebody who, for only having played 5 years of organized basketball, starting real late, he's got a lot of upside. And, I don't know if he's battling with Skal Labissiere possibly for a position, and where he's at in terms of, possibly working his way into a two-way situation or not. But he's somebody who came in the second half and showed that he's intriguing. He's very intriguing.
Yeah, Scott, I'm not exactly sure how the rotations are going to fit together. And really, I've been saying this ever since July. I really don't know, when push comes to shove, how they're going to put the rotation together. And quite frankly, because of all the injuries, with whether it's Orlando Robinson or Jordan McLaughlin or Trey Lyles, I don't exactly know if we're going to get an exact picture of who's going to play where and at what times, even in the preseason. But players like Isaac Jones, Boogie Ellis, Mason Jones, those are players who are going to be instrumental in figuring out who's going to make the roster and how they can contribute immediately, because we know about Devin Carter. He'll come back at some point. We just got news right at the end of the drive, guys, that Kevin Herter's been cleared for full participation at this point. So he's going to be integrated back into the team sooner rather than later. And to see guys like Isaac Jones and Mason Jones and Boogie Ellis, who are going to be part of that logjam of guards, make an impact and make a difference in this first game of the season, it's exciting to see, because you can only keep 15. They're figuring out the two-way contracts. Skal Labissiere, it's fun to see him back. I know he was with the Stockton Kings last year, and I'm glad that he got the training camp invite, but all of these people are fighting for specific rotation spots. But the good news is there's plenty of opportunity this year for the Kings, given how many bench players or deep bench players they've turned over from last season.
All right. I've gotten word. I don't know if Anthony knows or not, but Henry is there, and everything is set up from San Francisco. So we're going to take a break, see if we can get the High Flyer in on the program as well. It's game night. It's being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbofstockton.com. Game night, Kings and Warriors part 2, coming from the Bay when we come back right here. Sacktown Sports 1140.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power Inn Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Welcome back in the game night right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. Scott Marsh, and I didn't think I was going to be joined by my partner here, but I am told we do have things hooked up at the Chase Center. The High Flyer is on site at the game. Henry, how are you, my friend?
HT in the building, baby.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that you're down there representing, and of course you'll be on with Kings Live pregame as well. You saved me because I have Kyle here, and we love Kyle, but he's got a San Diego jersey on. As a Dodger fan, that's unacceptable tonight, Henry.
Kyle is always going against the grain, man. You know how he rolls.
I know how he rolls.
Yeah. I heard you.
619 all the way.
I got you.
Okay. All right.
All right. So High Flyer, let's
Yes,
get
sir.
your evaluation of Wednesday night. First time look at the Kings. What did you think?
I hate to say it, Scott. I was impressed. I hate to say about preseason that I'm impressed. I really like what the Kings put out there on the floor. Everything ran great. You didn't see big time turnovers. DeMar DeRozan just fit in like a glove. He looked like he's been playing with these guys all his life. He's scoring the basketball. De'Aaron's got bounced. Sabonis got bounced. Our whole crew looked very, very polished. I like that.
No doubt. And it was a preseason game, and we get that, okay? It's not one of 82. It doesn't count. But having said that, the Kings and Warriors, they were getting after it on Wednesday night. It had a regular season vibe.
Scooter, we've done a lot of these playoff games, these preseason games. And really, preseason sometimes, you see a lot of really bad basketball. You see a lot of turnover. You see guys making misreads, miscommunication out there on the floor. I didn't see any of that. I really didn't.
No.
Even with the younger guys, even with the guys that's trying to make the rosters, you alluded to it. Guys like Isaac Jones, I was very impressed by how he played and what he was able to do out there as a player.
Yeah, no, he looks good. He looks like a guy who might get a long look from Mike Brown and the coaching staff. I mean, he hasn't played very long, but he's got a big body. he's got a huge upside, it looks like to me. Part of it too, of course, the Golden One fans, there's nobody better. I mean, it was a sellout for a preseason game, so it had that electricity in the building. Now, I have to ask you, I agree with you, and we'll get to the positives first, but what was going on with the 3-point defense on Wednesday?
I have to ask you this.
Yeah.
Was it good offense, or was it bad defense?
Could it be both at the same time?
I think so, because those guys was knocking down some shots. I'm like,
no
my
question.
God.
No question.
I mean, they were on fire, and not just one.
No.
Everybody. Buddy Buckets had his way out there. Even the younger guys that came in, because, we basically played 2 halves of basketball. The first half was the starters. The second half was the reserve guys that's trying to make a roster. And from the minute the ball went up until the last second, Golden State shot lights out.
They did 28 of 52. It would have been a franchise record for threes if it wasn't a preseason game. That tells you how good they were. So that was fun to watch. But obviously, Mike Brown was not happy with the 3-point D. He wasn't happy with their overall physicality. I don't know if Mike Brown, it'd be interesting to hear his pregame presser tonight if he was as encouraged as you were after a first result, because the defense wasn't what he wanted.
You know what? If the defense isn't there, he wasn't. We know Mike Brown.
That's true.
He wasn't satisfied with what he's seen out there on the floor. Offense is secondary to Mike. He really wants these guys to be able to lock in. And Scooter, and I agree with him. If you're going to be an up and down, high octane offense type team and play small ball, you better learn what it takes to play small ball. And number one is being able to stay in front of your guy. And number two, gang rebound. You guys are going to have to gang rebound if you're going to play small ball.
No doubt. And, that's the concern for this team coming into the year. We've talked about it. We see the void on this Kings roster. Can they do enough gang rebounding to survive in another great Western Conference?
That's the thing. They're going to have to learn how to play that way. If they don't play that way, it's going to be tough when they play up against some of the bigger guys.
For sure. All right, let's get to DeMar. Obviously, he had it going offensively. He was perfect from the field in the first half, 15 points, 6 of 6. He looked like he had been in a Kings jersey. Is going into his 16th year now.
DeMar DeRozan fit in effortlessly. He looked like he was never out of position. And DeMar DeRozan's game. Okay, yeah. He has the mid-range game. He's the mid-range killer, and he did exactly what he's been doing all of his career. 1-2 dribble, free throw line, pull up, get the ball down in the mid post. 1 dribble, 2 dribble, spin fade, pump fake, jump shot. It was there like clockwork.
Yeah, no, he was DeMar DeRozan. That's what we've seen in Chicago. That's what we saw in Toronto. That's what we've seen in San Antonio. And if we get that in Sacramento, the Kings certainly are going to be a better team. There's no question about that. I think what we're looking forward to seeing, and only time can tell, is how the fit is with everybody on that team. We think it's going to be good. You never know until you actually see it on the floor. But from first glance, I mean, DeRozan, Fox, and this crew should all work well together.
I mean, it looked great. Like I said, I really hate saying that straight out the gate, but it really did. The first 10 minutes they played, I'm like, okay, looks good. No turnovers, no miscommunication, no, my bads, none of that out there on the floor. Everybody was able to run the offense. Sabonis brought the ball up. De'Aaron brought it up some. Even Keegan brought the ball up, started the offense. Everything ran good. Yeah, no doubt. All right, we mentioned Isaac Jones. I thought Boogie Ellis was boogieing and looking pretty good too. We know he's a scorer, and that's kind of what he did in the game. He got some shots up. He put up 10 shots in his 16 minutes, had 10 points. But he's a guy who can score. There's no doubt about it. He's a guy that's offensive minded, playing the point guard position, and he looks to score, and I'm fine with that. But the problem is we got a log jam. True. We have a huge log jam at that 1-2 position, and we're talking about that. And we got 2 guys that's hurt that play the 1-2 position. I think Kevin Huerter has got cleared to go. Really? Wow. That's news. I think so. Okay. I think so. I'm not going to say positively, but I think he's cleared to go. I was watching him out there on the floor. Okay. He was moving pretty good. And then we got the rookie. Yep. We got the rookie out there. Then you want to throw in Boogie. And then we got McLaughlin. McLaughlin is hurt. He has played. Yep. Those are 3 guys right there that's going to be at that 1-2 position and we got some other guys that play still 1-2 also that's on this roster.
That's true. Yeah. Herter's still listed for out tonight. Now, in terms of whether he's been cleared to play remainder of the preseason, that would be great news because I thought the timeline on Kevin was still indefinite. We'll try to get further word on that. We'll have some more on that in Kings Live pregame as well. But, that's kind of the concern. And, again, preseason first game. Okay. We don't make a lot of it, but you could see without the Kings having some of their pieces out, without Trey Lyles, without the acquisition of McLaughlin, without Orlando Robinson, who people think will get some minutes this year, you could see the lack of depth against the Warriors on Wednesday night, for sure.
Trey Lyles is going to be a big part because I think he plays a position that the Kings are lacking and they really need somebody to be there. But the thing that Trey Lyles brings is that he brings that small ball effort once again. That's why I'm going to keep harping until we see it out there on the floor. The Sacramento Kings, it's imperative they learn how to play small ball because that's what they're going to be. If you run Trey at the 5, you're definitely undersized.
For sure. Now, go ahead.
I'm not going to say it can't be done. Yeah. I think offensively, nobody's going to be able to match up with them.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, it's two sides of the ball, so they're going to have to be able to play defensive small ball strategy.
Yeah, no doubt. And we saw times where Trey Lyles and Sabonis together were very effective. I mean, Minnesota, case in point, when they were bringing Gobert well out of the paint. I mean, the Kings won some games because of it. So that was fantastic. Kings shooting the three-pointer, not nearly as good. They were just 7 of 27. I mean, that was an area last year that I think caught people by surprise. Everybody thought the Kings were going to be a good three-point shooting team like they were 2 seasons ago. Do you think this roster will be better than it was last year from distance?
I hope so. I really hope so because, I think the Kings' three-point percentage fell because Kevin Huerter struggled. Okay. Keegan Murray struggled. Harrison Barnes shot under his three-point percentage. So you got three of your 5 starters that shot under what they usually shoot from the three-point line. So, yeah, your numbers are going to be down.
Yeah, for sure. And to your point on Kevin Huerter, the injury update, here's what it is. He was reevaluated and in Los Angeles, and he's been cleared for full contact court activity. So he's going to start progressing through final stages of return to play before returning to game action. So that is the good news. So you had the scoop on that one. You're right about that. Huerter is cleared. Obviously, they're going to take it slowly with him, but that's great news for Sacramento because it feels like he's going to be back sooner than later now.
You were just talking about it, that three-point percentage. He's going to be a big part of that. He's a guy that can really get hot and light it up from that three-point line.
Yeah.
He's a guy that, when you have Fox running the point and they run that guy off of those double screens and those DHOs, he's the one that can knock those three-pointers down big time.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's turn our attention a little bit to the Warriors. What was your first thought at this year's Warriors team?
It looked weird to me. It looked weird. Okay, we had Steph out there.
Yeah.
Good. Draymond, Draymond's Draymond, but no Clay.
Right.
No Wiggins.
Yeah.
Looney didn't start. Kuminga and the younger guy, Podziemski, okay, I could roll with those guys, but it's not the Splash Brothers, bro.
No, never will be the same.
It won't be the same.
No. It's going to take some time to get used to, no doubt about it. I will say, Buddy Buckets had a lot of buckets on Wednesday night. What a performance for him. 6 of 7 from distance, 8 of 9 from the field. Buddy, despite getting the boost, played pretty well.
Buddy came off and played very, very well. I was just talking to Monty Poole about Buddy just a hot second ago, and he seems to think that Buddy Buckets is going to flourish in this offense.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, Buddy played well for us. Buddy had some bonehead moves at some point in time, and he was like, well, that was the same thing with Clay. Some nights Clay would come out and look like an all-star, and then some nights to where, i.e. when we bumped them out of the tournament game, Clay couldn't find a shot.
Exactly.
So they're looking at Buddy Hield as, one of the guys that's going to really be able to come in and help him.
And no doubt, and I know this is blasphemy to say this, but at this point in their careers, where Klay Thompson is right now, and you know what, he could go on in Dallas and be a great third option, and obviously with Luka and Kyrie, he's going to get some open looks, no doubt about it. But you could make the argument that Buddy Hield might be the better fit there in Golden State, might be the better shooter, the better player right now. right now, not career, obviously, or anything like that. I'm just talking about this moment going into this season.
For them, probably so, because I honestly thought that Clay got very disgruntled. I think Clay felt very disrespected. I think Clay was let down by the organization, because he thought that they were supposed to treat him a little bit better than what they did. So, Buddy Buckets is somebody that's going to come in, and Buddy's never going to be down. Buddy's never seen a shot that he don't like.
No.
So you put him in between those lines. Buddy doesn't let the business side of it affect his game on the floor.
Yeah, no, good point. And, they got slow-mo, Kyle Anderson. I think, he knows how to play, tremendous basketball IQ. But the one guy, the new acquisition really stepped up was D'Anthony Melton. He looks like he's a guy who could fit in well. And by all accounts, he's been great in training camp, and Steve Kerr loves him. Another
guy that can stretch the floor and shoot the three.
Yep.
You know what? I need to go check my 3-point percentage because maybe I can get a contract with the Golden State Warriors, because that's all you have to do is be able to step up and spot up and be able to knock down that three.
No doubt. They shot 52 threes, hit 28 of them. 28 of their 44 buckets were from distance. And not that the Warriors weren't already like this, but do you think now going into the 24-25 season, I mean, it's a league of copycats, right, of imitators. Everybody saw what Boston did to win the ring. They won it around the three-point line, right? Nobody shot more three-pointers than the Boston Celtics last year. Is that going to be the new gimmick this year? Not that it hasn't already kind of become that in the league. I mean, everybody's going for threes, but I'm talking about even more so looking like a Boston Celtics type offense.
Scooter, it's definitely a three-point league. And when you talk about shooting that ball from beyond the arc, the Golden State Warriors were definitely at the forefront. I think long as Steph Curry is here, they still will have that as a mantra. The way they run their offense, the way they bring guys in, they bring in shooters.
Yep.
They bring in guys who can let it fly and let it go. So I don't see them changing anytime soon, especially as they still have Draymond Green facilitating the offense.
Yeah, and
so,
Green. Yep.
So
go ahead.
You give it to Draymond. Draymond he's basically at the top of the key, and you screen down and you come off screens. You pick, and repick.
No doubt. Green had 5 assists. He probably could have had 10 on Wednesday night. They looked at mid-season form, and they know each other so well. It's like they can pick up a basketball after not seeing each other for 10 years and still have that feel, Curry and Green. By the way, it's USA bobblehead Steph Curry night.
Yeah, I see that. It's one sitting here.
That's what I had heard. There would be one in our booth tonight. Does it have my name on it?
It's one sitting here.
Does it say for Scott Marsh?
No, it don't say Scott Marsh. I'm looking at it right now. Okay, it's cool. Oh, wait. It's got Steph Curry. It's got the number 4. It's got the basketball. The Eiffel Towers in the back.
Yeah.
But the part I like is it has the mouthpiece hanging out the mouth.
That is cool. That's cool. There's going to be a little pregame ceremony. And from what I understand, Steve Kerr and Draymond Green are going to present again the gold medal to Steph Curry, which is pretty awesome.
That's sweet, man. I mean, because this is his first one, right?
Yes, it is.
And the dude, sir, I mean, he earned it big time.
He did.
I tell some of my friends, I'm like, yeah, Team USA was going to win, but they was on the rocks. They were on the ropes until Chef Curry got the cooking.
And what was so funny, of course, throughout the Olympics, Steph Curry couldn't hit a bucket for like the first 3 or 4 games, and he was actually getting pretty criticized. That people were going far enough to say, should Steph Curry be playing? And of course, we know the answer to that. No, but I wasn't saying that. I'm not that stupid, But there were people out there saying, why is Steph Curry playing so much?
And the crazy thing too, Scott, is that really the Olympics was nothing but another NBA game because you had all NBA talent out there on the floor, right?
Sure.
When Steph started cooking, even the NBA players was like, man, that's nothing I can do with this.
No doubt.
There's nothing I can do with this. You just got to let this dude shoot.
Even on that stage, he was a man amongst boys.
And speaking of him, Scott, you know what I'm doing, right?
No, tell me.
Come on now. He is in
his warm-up. You're watching his warm-up. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He is in his warm-up. It's mid-range right now. But he's going to start putting it up from 3 in a minute.
Yep.
I mean, but he's old school with it though. Because he starts on the inside.
Yep.
Even though he goes out to the three-pointer and knocks down a plethora of three-point shots, even from like half court and beyond, he starts on the inside with little flip shots and little floaters.
No doubt. Best warm-up show in the NBA, and that's a good sign because it means Steph Curry's going to play again tonight, so that'll be a lot of fun. When we come back, we'll talk about what we can expect from the game 2 here of the preseason, what might be different tonight versus what we saw on Wednesday night. We'll go around the league, get you caught up on the other games going on as well. It's Game Night being brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience for yourself how the Power family can help you with all your business copier needs. Give them a call today, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or go to powercopiers.com. More of Game Night right here, Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
For 76 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 76th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sacktown Sports 1140. It's great to have the Kings back. 3 more preseason games after this. Kings at home on Sunday. So they've got 3 games in 5 days. They'll take on the Trailblazers at 3 o'clock tip from Golden One Center. We hope to see you out there. We'll have game day beginning at 1:30 on Sunday afternoon. We'll look forward to that one. It's the final preseason home game, by the way. The Kings just have 2 home preseason games this season before they have the regular season home opener on Thursday, October 24th. Julius Randle and the Minnesota Timberwolves come into town. How about the saying of that, high flyer? Julius Randle and the Timberwolves to kick off the regular season with the Kings.
Yeah, no, Scooter, it doesn't roll off the tongue
No.
as well, you know?
Feels weird.
Yeah, when you talk about that trade, I think the jury is still out who got the better deal.
I do too. I think the Knicks did. I mean, it feels to me like Minnesota was making a dump of salary, you know, with Big Cat and everything that was coming up with his contract. And for the Knicks, you know, with Mitchell Robinson out and, you know, they lost their other big man to OKC. It feels like obviously Big Cat's going to fill a big time void there. Now they lose DiVincenzo, and that's I think that's tough for them because their backcourt's not nearly as good now. I think he'll be really good in Minnesota. But overall, I think the Knicks probably make out better in that deal.
You know, I will say this. I honestly thought that Big Cat and Rudy Gobert really had something cooking at the end of the season. I thought the high-low game for them worked very well.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if JR is going to be as effective around the three-point line as the Big Cat was. And I think the Big Cat has a little bit more, you know, just flexibility as far as inside out.
Yep. Agreed. Julius Randle is just a tough player to play around. You know, he's an interesting, unique player in this league. You know, some people might say that about Sabonis as well. Sabonis is a great player. We've seen that 2 straight years of All NBA here in Sacramento, but he's a unique player to play around. It's tough to find a complement big to play around Sabonis, and that's part of what we see on this Kings roster right now.
Well, the thing about it is that, you know, you have to find that specialty big because you're going to have to find a guy that's 6'10", 6'11", maybe 7 foot, but that's going to be able to be a stretch guy.
Yep.
Can you imagine if Cat would have came to Sacramento?
Oh, man. Talk about an ideal fit.
You know, somebody like Markkanen. Can you imagine they could have got somebody like that in Sacramento?
Yeah.
You know, big, long, lean, but can stretch the floor like a guard. That's what the Kings are going to have to get to play along Sabonis.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, it's interesting because Mike Brown and the Kings staff, they're challenging Sabonis to shoot more outside shots this year. They want to see him put up some more threes and stretch his game. We noticed that a little bit on Wednesday night. He was a little more willing to take that mid-range outside jumper. What'd you think about that?
You know, I don't mind Sabonis taking his shots, but I still have the one question with this Kings roster. If Sabonis is shooting jump shots, who's rebounding?
It's a great question. You're hoping that the shot's going through because there's nobody down there to rebound.
See, that's why I'm saying the gang rebound mantra is going to have to be beat into these guys' heads. Because if you want to still stretch the floor and have Sabonis be able to knock down some threes, well, the small forwards and the guards, your guards are going to have to be rebounders big time because while he's shooting, you have nobody else to rebound.
No doubt. First year, Keegan Murray was pretty much a 3-point shooter, and obviously he was great. He broke the rookie record for threes. Last year showed us his defensive game. This third year, it feels like he will be a guy who's going to be called to play the 4 at times. Do you see that being the adjustment that Keegan's able to make here in year 3?
I think so. You know, depend upon the matchups for sure. Because when you playing against a 4 that's really, really low post oriented or mid post oriented, I think Keegs might have a little trouble. You know, his body looks great now, but he still hasn't filled out. He still hasn't got, you know, the muscle to deal with a lot of forwards who play in the mid range and the low post west. But when you're playing teams which a lot of teams are in the West that has a stretch 4, I think it's going to be just fine.
Yeah, no question. You can play out on the perimeter, getting muscled up. I know that Keegan put on some muscle during the offseason. Is it enough?
It's going to have to be. It's going to have to be, Scott.
No choice in the matter. That's pretty true. Other things for tonight. Obviously, it's the second consecutive game you're playing the Warriors. It's preseason. It doesn't matter. It's not like this is a playoff series where you're making adjustments. You're worrying about yourself. You're trying to find your own combinations, obviously. Tonight for Sacramento, what different combinations do you think we might see? What are you interested in possibly looking at after what you saw on Wednesday night?
You know what, Scooter? I think it's pretty much going to be a mirror of Wednesday. You know, you're going to see your starters out there for the first half, and then in the second half, you're going to see some different combinations.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think you might see a different combination, some different players or with those starters. You know, as far as, you know, you might see a little bit more of Malik out there with Debo and maybe Sabonis and Keegan. You know, he's going to switch it up a little bit, but I think you're going to see the main core of the guys just play the first half and rest the second half.
Yeah, I think you're right. And obviously Malik left the game in the second quarter. A lot of people were worried maybe did Malik get hurt? No, he didn't. He left the game for personal reasons. He's back with the team. He will play tonight. We'll see how much he does play. Mason Jones got a lot of run with that first unit as a result. What do you think of Mason Jones? Obviously, I'm intrigued by this guy. He played well in Stockton. He's a totally different body frame. He's lost over 55 pounds. He's a different physique altogether. What do you think about Mason Jones?
Mason Jones is going to get caught in the jam too, I think. I honestly think for his size and the way he plays, you would think that he would be a good candidate for that 3 position. But I honestly think that they're going to, in order to get their regular guys some run, you're going to have to see Keon at the 3-some.
Yeah.
You're going to have to see Kevin Huerter at the 3-some. And like I said, that would bump Mace Jones down to a 4.
Yeah.
and I don't think he's going to be a 4 at all.
I agree with that. I don't see him playing at the 4 position. I don't think that would be a fit that would work for them. What about Colby Jones? Another interesting.
One.
Yeah,
another one that's in that log jam.
Yeah.
I tell you what, our Stockton Kings should be very nice
Yeah.
because they're going to have some very good players. You know, Colby Jones is in the same predicament.
Yeah.
If you for the Sacramento Kings, if you play that 1, 2, 3 position, it's going to be tough for you to see some minutes.
No doubt. There is a log jam for sure. And again, there's a lot of injuries. We've talked about it. Devin Carter won't be back probably till the start of 2025 with that shoulder. Trey Lyles, we're hoping he's back for opening night, but we'll see on that. Groins tend to take longer than shorter to recover. Jordan McLaughlin out with the ankle. What about Jalen McLaughlin? We didn't see Jordan. We did see Jalen. What did you think?
Jalen's another guy that's interesting because he's, what is he, 6'9", 6'10"?
Yep.
Long, can shoot it. So he's a guy that you would kind of covet and say, okay, what can we do with him at the 4? But I tell you what, Isaac's looking like he's going to have a long look.
I think so too.
Because he fits the bill.
Yeah.
He fits the bill. And right now, if you're able to even get close to blocking a shot for the Sacramento Kings, man, your value goes through the roof.
You're going to get some run if you can block some shots, no doubt.
Yes.
Yeah, Jalen McDaniels played a little over 20 minutes. It was interesting because Mike Brown, you know, his preseason, we've seen it a lot where he doesn't spread out the minutes a ton, but he'll spread it out by game. In other words, he'll give somebody maybe 25, 30 minutes in one preseason game and not play them again, wanting to give them good run. We saw pretty much the full roster on Wednesday night.
Right. And you know what? And if I'm a player, I'm fine with that. Because I think getting a game to where you can play, 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you can find your rhythm and get into a flow. It's tough to play every preseason game and only get 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's interesting. And, it's different now, too. Back in your day, Henry, you guys had at least an 8-game, preseason schedule. Now they've gotten shorter. The Kings are only playing 5 preseason games this year. It's different how teams look at the preseason. They value a lot more their internal practices and scrimmages than they do these preseason games.
Yeah, you know what, Scott? It seems like you must have been listening to my car. This is my conversation on the ride up. Me and LaSalle Thompson was talking about our preseason days.
Yeah.
And it was like preseason was almost 3 weeks. It was like, man, we tired of playing preseason games.
Exactly. Enough already.
Right. But it's not like that now. These guys play 4 or 5 preseason games and they play them so fast that they get them in and get them out and they're ready to play.
No doubt. The Tank's with you, huh?
No. I was talking to Tank on the phone.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that'd be great. Good to hear from Tank. And of course, as we mentioned on Wednesday, it is the 40th anniversary season for the Kings. They're bringing back a lot of the players from all 4 decades, and LaSalle Thompson was one of the great Kings back in the early days.
No doubt. He was one of the guys that came back and did the 40th dinner and showed up, man. And a lot of the fans loved to see him, loved to talk to him. We had Dwayne Coswell come back. We had Reggie Theus. We had Olden Polynice, and we had the one and only Lionel Simmons. Lionel Simmons hasn't touched back down in Sacramento since he left as a player.
Wow.
This was the first time he walked back in the doors as a Sacramento King.
Did he come by plane or by train?
No. Ain't nobody taking the train no more. It's all about the air.
Not the L train anymore. Okay. All right. We'll take the break. When we come back, we'll get some final thoughts in for this upcoming game tonight. Kings and Warriors Part 2. The Deuce down in Golden State as Sacramento looks to get a win here in the preseason. The Warriors now 2-0. They had won in Honolulu before the game on Wednesday night as well. We'll come back. It's game night right here. Sacktown Sports 1140.
Malik Monk plays
Started
here.
left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's October does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare. With Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow, you can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sacktown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall up with the High Flyer, Henry Turner. Our final segment, getting you ready for Kings Live pregame. Henry's down in the Bays at the Chase Center. He'll be a part of the Kings pregame live show. Jason Ross down there as well. They'll have it all covered for us. And then the G-Man with the call, 7 o'clock tip. You'll hear it right here, Sacktown Sports, 1140. As you'll hear every game, preseason, regular season, hopefully postseason as well. Sacramento Kings basketball right here on Sacktown Sports. All right, let's go around the league and let you know some of the other games going on tonight. The Raptors and the Wizards, right now Toronto leading that one 25-18. That's second quarter. T-Wolves leading the 76ers 39-26. We've got the Pistons and the Suns. That will start later tonight. Trailblazers, who will be here on Sunday, they will take on the Clippers. That's a 7:30 start from their brand new building in Los Angeles, the Intuit Dome. Henry, I'm going to have to make a road trip to LA, not to see the Lakers, but to see the Clippers. I want to see this new building.
You know, I'm right with you. When you want to make that road trip, you let me know, buddy, because I'm riding with you.
We are doing.
I want to see this new building.
We're doing game night from down there, and you know they got a special exclusion too, where their club now can stay open until 4 a.m. It's the only place in California that's going to be allowed to serve alcohol until 4 a.m.
Let me tell you, man, like I said, just tell me when and where, and I'm in the building.
It sounds like the new Forum Club in LA, just a different team.
There you go. There you go. Let's keep it live.
I tell you. All right. Henry, are you a guy who is taking in a ton of preseason basketball? Or are you a guy who's like, I can't really make a lot from it. I'll wait till the regular season to start doing my evaluations?
Come on, Scott. You know I'm old school, man.
Yep.
I don't take nothing away from preseason.
Yep.
Preseason is like summer league. You can go 5-0 in preseason and go 0-5 in the regular season.
Hey,
preseason means absolutely nothing.
You're right. The Kings proved that. They had many years where they were undefeated in the preseason and had sub 500 years, as we know painfully well. So
Man, why you bringing that up?
No, I was backing your point. I'm just
saying this is a new day, bro.
I agree with you. Hey, I was only trying to say you're right. I was agreeing with you, Henry. Don't slam me down. I was saying you're right. The High Flyer knows what he's talking about.
I'm just saying we can't speak that into existence, man. We want positivity.
Fair enough. We'll move on. I'm with you on that. We don't have to necessarily glean from the preseason games what's going to happen, but as we look at some of these games going on, obviously Philly, made a huge move, acquiring Paul George.
Right.
So what do you think about their big three now with Embiid and Maxey and George?
How about this? They have two that's questionable about staying on the floor. If you can keep all three of those guys on the floor, that gives you a good chance.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a triple threat right there.
No
you have a guard that can score, that can play defense, that gets up and down. You have probably the most dominant big man in the league in Joel Embiid.
Yep.
And then you have one of the best two-way players for the last 10 years in the NBA, in Paul George.
No question. Is it enough firepower if all three are healthy to compete
doubt.
with? Okay.
No doubt.
Okay. All right.
No doubt.
It'll be fun to watch them. Let's see here. In terms of Suns and Pistons, Suns last year, they went for their big three as well. It didn't really work out for them. Phoenix this year, do you have more hopes for them than what they did last year?
I'm looking at Phoenix saying, show me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Phoenix saying straight, show me. I know you're going to have firepower. Whenever you have a Kevin Durant on your squad, you have major firepower. But KD is going to have to be the guy that says, look, okay, I'm going to help win these games. You already have Devin Booker. DB is already the monster that he is. You have to have at least three. We talked about it. You got to have at least three, and Kevin and KD is going to have to be a monster in order for them to be that way.
No doubt. And they got Bradley Beal. He was injured a lot of last year. He never panned out to be kind of that third weapon. I don't know if he gets fully healthy, if he possibly could or not. We'll see from Phoenix. There's a lot to be proven with them. And then obviously we mentioned Trailblazers and Clippers. By the way, it was fun to see, Chauncey Billups was at the Niner-Seattle game last night. They played a preseason game up in Seattle, I do believe. In fact, I think this game is being played in Seattle. It is. This Trailblazers-Clippers game is up in Seattle tonight, so they're up there for that. But Chauncey going into the Hall of Fame, that's pretty cool.
Nice. Big shot, Bob. Big shot, Chauncey.
Yep.
You know what? Rightfully so, man. For what he did and how he played the game, first ballot Hall of Famer, I'm with it.
Yeah, no, he's well-deserving. He's got a tough road, though, up in Portland right now with the Trailblazers trying to turn them around to a playoff contender.
Oh, no doubt. That's hard. Bringing a pedigree, the way Chauncey played this game is good. But having it equate over to the coaching realm is something totally different. I think he's one of the good players as far as being able to, bring guys together, get them fired up, and get them ready to go. He's done that all his life. A point guard basically is an extension of the coach. So he has that tutelage, but really getting guys to play and getting them to run your system the way you want to, that's tough.
It is tough. And then the Clippers, as we talked about, the gain in Philadelphia was LA's loss. You look at the Clippers and, they've got the brand new arena. They've got Ballmer, who wants to win at all costs. He puts his money where his mouth is, but I don't know about this roster. I'm not sure. You've got James Harden, who's kind of past his prime as your second best option, and Kawhi Leonard, who may be healthy, maybe not on any given night or any given year. I don't have a lot of hope for the Clips.
I don't either. I honestly think that they're backsliding. Can you look at the Clippers and say, their championship or bust?
No,
not really.
That's the outset from Ballmer, but the team doesn't deserve that.
That's what I'm saying. The team doesn't reflect that, if you ask me.
Yep.
If Kawhi be the Kawhi that we know, he's only going to play half of the game. So how do you make it?
I don't know. That's going to be interesting. And obviously with all the money they put in this arena, we'll see how they respond to that. All right, a couple minutes left here. Let's go back to tonight. Henry, what are you focused in on tonight in terms of this game and what you're looking to see from the Kings?
You know what, Scott? Like I said, I think it's going to be a mirror of Wednesday, to where we see, just the first half of the guys out there. I'm going to pay more attention to the second half of this game because, we've got some very intricate spots for guys to fill. I'm really going to look at Isaac.
Yep.
I'm really going to look at the Jones brothers.
Yep.
See what they can bring because, those are the players who are playing those spots to where we have one spot for those guys to play. So let's see how those guys get down.
Yeah, I agree with you. Colby Jones is interesting, being a first-round pick. Is he going to be a Kings roster guy? Isaac Jones, I'm so fascinated by him. But, only playing 5 years of organized basketball. I just wonder what this guy's upside is.
He looks good, though, Scott.
He
the
does.
thing about it is that he looks poised.
Yeah.
He doesn't look rattled out there. And for him to be that size, he's got very soft hands. He makes the right passes, and he has a very unorthodox way of getting to the basket and scoring.
No, I agree with you. And I guess what I'm trying to say, I think his upside could be large because he hasn't played that much. It's tough to do at the NBA level. But he is definitely intriguing, and I think he's a guy who's going to get more run tonight. All right, that's going to do it for game night. High Flyer, glad you were able to join us.
Oh, man, that's why I'm here.
I love it. Have a great time tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's it for game night. Coming up next, it is Kings Live pregame. The High Flyer with Jason Ross. They'll take you until 7 o'clock. G-Man with the call tonight. As we said, it's the 40th year of the Kings. It's the 40th year of the G-Man calling the Kings as well. The only voice of the Kings right here on Sacktown Sports. We appreciate you listening to Game Night. We'll be back on Sunday afternoon with the Kings with the Blazers. But for now, it's all about the Kings and the Warriors enjoy Kings coverage right here. Sacktown Sports 1140. Have a great night.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys live Monday through